Welcome again. I want us to look at the process of creating a revision calendar that actually works and works for you. I want us to create a revision calendar which matches your energy, which matches your time, and which matches your potential. And I believe that we can do this. Together, we can do this. And when we are creating a revision calendar, something which is very important and which we need to understand is that a revision calendar is something which you don't have an option to say that I'm going to create or I'm not going to create. It is something which is very important for every student and also for teachers. They need to have calendars. That's why in the professional documents of a teacher, in the teacher materials and all that, we have the schemes of work, we have all that. And apart from the schemes of work, we also have the records of work, which is about what I have done as a teacher up to this point. And these things must go hand in hand. So I believe for teachers, it will not be very difficult to understand this because you've done this before, you've planned, and you can help even learners in planning. Understanding how to prepare revision calendar, understanding how, not revision calendar, sorry, understanding how to prepare these documents is not something which is useless, because when you understand how to prepare them, you can also understand very well how to prepare a good revision calendar, and you can help your learners in preparing revision calendars which will be good for them. I have here with me, I have a revision calendar, and I believe you like it. This is Study Smart with the SATI-HEM Learners Revision Companion, a one-year planner for a Form 4 candidate. This is a revision calendar. It is very well bound with a perfect binding, and this makes it last long. And you can see the revision calendar. It contains everything in terms of date from January to October, and this one will ensure that the learner is working and is keeping track of the records, because this is very important and it will ensure that you don't leave anything. So when I'm talking about revision calendar, this is one of it, and this is one of the best. This is one of the things you cannot find in the market. And one thing with the SATI-HEM revision calendars, with the SATI-HEM materials, is that they are personalized. They focus so much on what a learner can do. They focus so much on the strengths and the weaknesses of a learner, such that you don't find the learner cannot has got something which he cannot do. It is very much important to understand when you're preparing a revision calendar. You cannot prepare a revision calendar which is universal unless you have learners who have similar potentials, who have similar capabilities, and everything which match for each other. Otherwise, if you do so, you're going to help one of the hundreds and not the whole hundreds of the learners. So there are several steps which we need to follow in preparing a revision calendar, and these steps are very much important. The step number one is that you need to know your timeline, because timeline and time is very important, where you identify the time you have before you sit for the exams or for the assessments. And these will help you know that if I plan for 1 month, if I plan for 2 months, or if I plan for 3 months, this will help me improve to this level. Or you may be planning for the national exams which come at the end of the year, and you're planning in January how you're going to do a revision for the whole of the coursework from form 1 to form 4, or from grade 10 to grade 12, or from grade 7 to grade 9. All that, we've done that, we are doing that, and it is working best for most of the learners. So know your timeline, when and what are the activities within that time. You need to know, okay, I have 3 months, and within the 3 months these are the activities which are taking place in the 3 months, so that I know the time which I have to plan for and the time which I cannot plan for. Because most of the times, people pretend that you're supposed to spend the whole of your time in studies, and it is a matter which is a hard truth that we cannot pretend. We cannot pretend that we don't go for entertainment. We cannot pretend that we don't take some break and all that. We need to understand that there are these breaks and they have to be treated differently. You don't have to treat your breaks like you're treating your very academic days, because most of the times I've seen that most of the learners are being pressured even when they are broken for midterm, when they break for the term breaks and all that. Most of the teachers, most of the parents at home tutors think that these learners should be very much concentrating on studies throughout the day from morning to evening like they are in class. This doesn't work that way. These are things which you're supposed to consider and understand, that there are times which the learner cannot be studying all through, and there are times which the learner can be studying all through. And at this specific time, we need to understand that we are talking about a learner who cannot be studying all through because they are not in school at that time. So when you know your timeline, you know, okay, I have this time remaining and I can break this time into maybe weekly blocks, and I use these weekly blocks for revision. And after I break this time, I know that each block is an opportunity for mastery, to build mastery. For example, if I have, let's say, this is on February, and we not count February because it's almost ending. We have March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and let's say up to September. This is 7 months. You know that these are 7 good opportunities to build mastery of content and preparedness for the exam. So you will create a revision calendar which may have 7 cycles, monthly cycles, or it depends with what you're revising. Sometimes you may create a revision calendar with the six with the weekly cycles. For instance, let's talk about a student who is at campus, and this student, we are now on February, and they have only March and April. They'll be sitting for their semester exams, end of semester exams, and they have strictly 6 weeks to do that. So you can create strictly 6 cycles, 6 blocks, 6 weeks for revision. Those are 6 opportunities which you have to use to master your content. That is, you'll focus on your units, and in every week you must cover the units. In every week you must cover and cover, and you need to do it again and again and again. Those aspects we are going to see each and every aspect. So how many strategic rounds do you have for your revision? For instance, what is your timeline? What how much time do you have? Because knowing your timeline will help you pace yourself. It will prevent you from last minute rush and panic, and it will give you a room to breathe. Do you know how much time you have? Let us meet in the next video so that we may talk about the second step towards building a revision calendar.